Hey there, we're here with another video at the Good Bureau office, and we have two amazing guests that are doing amazing things in Romania. I'm going to butcher the name, but it's E-Romnja. E-Romnja?
E-Romnja.
E-Romnja, see? I'm learning. And Aldessa and Anca are here with us today from E-Romnja.
Perfect.
See, I'm a quick learner. And so we are going to chat a little bit today about the work that you guys are doing in Roma communities across the country, specifically empowering Roma women. And so it's an issue that's close to my heart, and because it's a people that are close to my heart. And so I wanted to highlight the work you're doing today, and also hear a little bit of your story, if you'd be willing to share. So give us a little bit of background. Anca, could we start with you? Give us, how did you get into this work?
In this work specifically with E-Romnja, I started 5 years ago. I saw on Facebook on a job interview, a job offer, and I applied. And I came to the girls. I spoke with Carmen. At the beginning, I was working in a corporation, and I couldn't start quickly. And I was like a volunteer for a few months, and then I started work with E-Romnja. And I started like a project manager, and now I coordinate the Department of Roma Women and Participation.
Okay, awesome.
And our work is we try to make like a initiative group of the local level, and then to have like a women who coordinate the group, and she would be in touch with me, and I collaborate with the girls, but also the women from the group, they can contact me personally or other girls from our team. So it's like it's not like an hierarchic thing. It's like a collaboration and friendship and sisterhood.
Awesome. I love that. Sisterhood.
Yes.
That's cool. Cool. Aldessa, what about you? How did you get into this work that you're doing?
Yeah, so I was just finishing my high school, and I met Carmen, who is from Misil, from where I'm also. And she was just looking for some people to be part of E-Romnja. And she was asking a woman that she met in 2010 when she started actually to do a bit of advocacy in our community. And yeah, she asked me if I want to be part of the organization, to be what we call community facilitator. And yeah, it was great because I wanted to do something from my community. So, and this is how I joined in 2013, and I'm still here.
Awesome. What inside of you guys, I mean, you left a corporate job, here you are, you're around college age at the time, right? Back then it was leaving high school.
I was 18.
18, okay, so you're 18. Both of you have the world before you, great opportunities to... NGO work is tough, right? Working in a nonprofit is incredibly tough. What was in there? Why did you want to deviate from the normal path? The normal path of build a career, be successful, make a lot of money. What drove you to do this type of work?
For example, I was volunteer since I know myself, since very young. And because I am part of a family with a lot of children, we are 6 children back home, and we face a lot of difficulty. And also I receive some support. My family receives some support from another NGO, and somehow I know that I have to do something back for my people, and to come back in the community. At the beginning, I had to find jobs to support myself and to finish my university. So I have to not to be volunteer anymore, to have a real job. But all the time I came back in the community, and I did different stuff. For example, to play with the Roma children from the neighborhood, or to raise some money from the other small community. Even I was part of a corporation. And when I saw this job on Facebook, I said I want to do this because I face a lot of discrimination. Maybe not directly because I'm not so dark skinned, but my father is, and he faced a lot of discrimination trying to have a job. And then when I grew up and I became a Roma woman, I face a lot of discrimination from my community because I am I am a girl, and then of discrimination from the society because I'm a Roma woman. And somehow it was inside of me to do something different, but I didn't know this is the name feminism. Because in the media you see all the time about the feminism only the radical thing, and they're like crazy women, they don't have husband and everything, and I didn't know it's feminism. But because I face and I feel a lot of inequality in my life, this is the feeling who all the time motivate me to fight and to do this work.
Wow. Aldessa, would you share a little bit? We were talking up in my office earlier and about, I was saying women empowerment and talking about that, and you said, why not just call it feminism and feminists? Help me and help us really understand that, because it's something that not a lot of people get. I think, like you said, I think when there's this misconception about what the feminist movement is and what does it mean to be a feminist, and that's something you're proud of, that title. And help us explain that. What is, in your opinion, because I know you can't speak for the movement, in your opinion, what does it mean to be, when you say you're a feminist, what does that mean?
Okay, from my point of view, like the word feminism has like different meanings. And maybe just before this, I would like to go back to your question, which you addressed to Anca, related to why we choose the organization path, let's say, and not the career one, the building. And I want to say that most of us Roma girls, we are not really taught to have this path of building a career, being on your own. We are mostly taught that we need to have family, and we are taught, like from the society, that we have to be submissive and these kind of things. And I don't know, but maybe I had something in me that made me choose another path. And that's what made me say, okay, I don't want to have this kind of path, like what I was seeing around me, because it's also very important what you see around you that determines you to make your wishes for the future. Because if you see around you only, women who are not employed and they face some discrimination from the society and maybe also some violence, and maybe a lot of them got married so early. Maybe I'm not saying that these kind of women cannot be role models. They are totally, and most of the women that we work with, they are role models for me. But it's just not the way that we should be taught since we are young. Okay, so feminism means for me, let's say, not to be different, but to choose for yourself, even if it's like really hard to say that you make a choice and that you really have the opportunities to make a choice. But I can define myself a feminism because I'm really fighting for other girls to have another type of life, the life that they want, and not a life which is like dictated by the society and by the community. And okay, about empowerment, it's like what I do, for example, me personally, but also through the organization activities, is to create spaces in which these girls and young women get to know about gender role stuff and how does it affects you as a person, but also your own family and later your children. Or again, like I do like access to information, because this is a very important step in empowerment. It doesn't matter if you have education or not, but if you have access to information, it gives you a sort of power. And then also involving this women part of your decision making, part of your structures, and putting them in the first line. Like this is empowerment. Yeah. For me, at least.
It's awesome. I think you're living out and you're crafting a new model and really definition of what feminism is. And I think that's vital work. I mean, the work you guys do is incredibly important and so needed. And I said earlier, I don't know. I mean, I see prejudice, I see racism happen in Romania, but I don't feel it because I'm a white man, a white American man living in Romania, which means, you know,
you have a lot of privilege.
I have a ton of privilege, and so I don't see it, I don't experience it, but I do see it in some ways. I see it happening, and I think we people, both in Romania and outside, need to better understand it. And so you guys are advocates for, you know, tens of thousands of, and I don't know the full number, I mean, probably hundreds of thousands of women across the country and girls. And so this information and your own life experiences, but also the experiences of the ones that you're caring for and you're serving, we need to hear and should be helping speak into and craft future policy and decisions, because it's currently not. It's a voice that's not being heard, I think, by and large. And so that's why I think the work you guys do is so vital. Help us understand. I got to look through a nice brochure earlier that labeled some of the things that you guys are doing as an organization. What type of activities are you guys involved in?
We are involved in two parts. For example, for us it's very important the local level and also the national level. At the national level we are part of different coalition. For example, we are part of coalition who fight for women rights, and we are part of a network against violence on women. This is a bigger organization, but also at the local level we do different activity who came from the women. For example, if the women want to have water in the community, for us this is a feminist approach, and we will do different kind of activity to have water in the community. For example, if the women they need I don't know, if they need food in the community, we'll start to cook in the community for the women and for the children. But also with the needs from the local level, we go to the national level and we advocate for this problem. For example, we start to be part of this group who advocate for change the law on domestic violence, and we had a lot of result there. We advocate to put to have in school sexual education. Also, we don't have so many success yet, but we hope to have it more. So we have this campaign, and we did a lot of ID papers. But all our activity they are coming from the group, and we have these three community in Giurgiu, Mizil, and Aldessa Anca near to Bacău. And in this community, in each community, we have one or three groups. For example, in Aldessa Anca, we have 3 initiative group, and depend on which part of the village the women they are staying, we have different approach. For example, in this neighborhood, Palamida, who is the most segregated from the village, and it's the people from there they are very poor. We have different approach, and there we try to build a method who is more like a service provider, but also empowering the women and the younger from there. We have another group in Cucova, and there the women is more like a support group, and we meet with the women, we speak about their problem, and they come I don't know, if they have problem with their partner, they came there and they speak, and together they try to find solution for their personal problem. And when we have big campaign in the community, for example, every year we do this march. We have a march in Bucharest on preventing domestic violence, but also we do it in the community.
Great.
And we have also the march in 8th April, when is the International Roma Day, and the women come there and they are together to the street to raise awareness about different topic. And this is the third group, also in the Aldessa Anca, and there it's a bit mixed because we have poor Roma women and not so poor, and they try together to solve different problems. For example, it's a big level of violence in school. They are together and they are speaking with the mayor, with the director of the school, and different authority. And then we have Giurgiu and Mizil. In Mizil we start to have to, because in Mizil it's a bit different because the group is more Pentecostal, the women from there, and they are very good and very advocate the women, because we start to work there 6 years now, and they advocate to have infrastructure in the community for water and for asphalt. And every month they go in the local council meeting, sometimes just to monitoring the meeting, and sometimes if they have a need, they put on the agenda. And the women, most of them, they are uneducated, they don't know how to read and to write, but it's very important because they know this right to, they have this right to be in this meeting, and they did a protest to have infrastructure in the community. They bring the mayor in the community to see their problem. So we had different approach and different subject. All the time they told us for what they need to advocate. So they write our agenda all the time. Even we have a subject, if they don't want to do something for this, we'll not do it. Only if it's like a must for them and they really need this approach. This subject. And in Giurgiu it's a bit different because the community from there it's bigger, and the people are very different. The Roma community it's very divided because there are four neighborhoods in Giurgiu, and there we advocate on this topic on early marriage. We started there, and we have an initiative we started 3 years ago, and we put together the local authority like school, police, social services, and we try to fight on this phenomenon, because yes, it is a phenomenon and it's affect more the Roma girls. Even the authority and the Roma movement don't want to recognize this like a phenomenon, because we don't have to speak like Roma women and Roma feminists. We don't have to speak about this sensitive subject, because there are us, but we are there and we try to advocate, but we face a lot of resistance, even from the authority, even from the Roma movement, and sometimes from the community. And we try to prevent this, and we had different approach to preventing also, to being we start to have like campaign in the community with police and health school mediator and everybody, and to inform the girls what are the rights and why not have to marry since very early. But when we have to intervene for very concrete cases, the authority did like a backstep, and they didn't want to intervene in this situation. And for me and for us, this is like a institutional racism, They don't want to intervene because it's in our culture.
Aldessa, I know that this idea of working with youth and young girls is something you're passionate about. Explain that. I mean, it really connects to what you're saying there.
Yes.
What is your passion there? I know it's to empower them, but what are issues that these young Roma girls are facing?
There are many issues, but like when these youth groups came up, it wasn't something that we said, we gotta do these youth groups, we gotta create. It came like kind of naturally from the community, because we were organizing the women meetings, but in the women meetings there were some young girls who were joining the meetings, and from the discussion we were seeing how some of the topics should be discussed separately, only with the young girls, or only with the young men. And this is actually, I'd say, the aim of all this work with the youth groups. It's to raise awareness about early marriages, because we see it as a type of violence, but also to raise awareness about men control that it's going on in the society, but also in the Roma community. And of course, Roma men don't want us to speak about this, because it shows a lot about, the way that they behave. And it's also about we don't really believe in education as the key to success for everybody, but we believe that education, in the way of giving people access to information that they cannot have, it's the way to open up opportunities and to to build a better society for everybody. And that's why it's like very important for me also as young, because I'm 25 years old, and I started to do this work when I was 18. And okay, I'm not like giving myself as an example, but it really makes a lot of difference when you get this kind of information about gender roles, about violence, about the feminist movement, about the Roma movement. It gives you another perspective on what you want to do or what you want to get involved in than, getting this information when you are 60, when you are or 50 and you are already in a, let's say, domestic relationship for 30 or 40 years. Like, it makes a lot of difference, and we gotta work with this generation, because they are the future for us. And it's harder to work with adults and maybe easier to work with youth, but they are really the one who will show things for the next generation.
Awesome. And what are you guys doing with them? You mentioned earlier the sisterhood, and the mentors. Explain that a little bit, because it sounds really dynamic.
Mm-hmm. So we started this mentorship program that we call Sisterhood, or Penialipe in our language, Romani. And this program, it's formed of 10 young Roma girls from the 3 communities that Anca mentioned, and 10 other Roma women from Bucharest or from other cities who are, enrolled in the university, they are doing their master, or they are working in another organization, and they are very tough feminists and activists. And we are really proud to have them in this mentorship program, because they do this work of one-on-one meetings with the girls. They do it mostly online using Facebook and WhatsApp, but they also have meetings face-to-face. Like, for example, yesterday we just had a girl from Izil who came to visit her. We say older sister, and they had a day of doing something different that they used to do in the community. Or sometimes we organized at least once in a year this meeting in which we bring all the girls in a safe space, and there we discuss a lot of things, like how do we as girls feel when older men look at us or they criticize the way that we dress, or what do we want to do for the future, what are our opportunities. How can we, as a Roma organization and feminist, open up opportunities for these girls in order to do what they want, what they feel good to do.
Awesome. I'm super impressed with the work you guys do, and the need is so obviously there. If people are watching this video and they go, "That's really cool, I want to get behind that," they can donate to you guys, right?
Yeah, sure.
That would be
Only
great.
We don't need money.
And what other ways that people can help you? I mean, what somebody's sitting at home watching this, they go, "My heart's moved, I want to do something." Obviously, they can get online, make a donation. Mm-hmm. What else? What other things would be helpful for you guys right now?
For me, it would be very important, and I'm talking to those people who are a bit aware of all these issues going on with racism, discrimination, early marriages, and I also wrote an article about my white privilege as a Roma person, and how do I use my own privilege to stand up for others. And my message is, when you have the opportunity, just say something good about Roma people to those people who don't see anything good in the Roma community. It really makes a difference if you say something. And this would be the simple way that you can do, but of course there's a lot to do. And but we all can do something small in order to stand for others.
That's good. Thank you guys for your time. Last thing I want to ask, I ask this question to everybody. It's a bit of a surprise question.
Okay.
It's what is good to you? What is good?
What is good? To do good is good.
Good.
Good is to feel productive in the work that you do, and I just had this feeling in these days, this whole month, which was really full. But yeah, you feel tired, but when you feel productive, it makes a lot of good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're cheering you guys on, and we'll put these links and maybe that article you mentioned that you wrote in the notes on the video, so if people want to find it and connect to it. I love that idea. Just say something positive about Roma people. And that is, you hear a lot of negative things in living in Romania. When Roma get brought up, oftentimes people respond with the negative and criticize. I think the way we defeat that is by saying something positive. And so I appreciate that challenge. I want to start to live that out and be better at that. Just thank you for your sacrifice, your hard work, and we're cheering you on.
Thank you.
Thank you.